And another thing that he mentioned was human rights. Human rights. Democrat cities are taking away an unborn baby's right to life. That's like one of the most basic rights to life. It's the first right we have that is not given by the government, but is given by God. Right? The Democrats have they have no shame in taking away the right from the unborn to life. Right? What's up, guys? Welcome to Let It Be Heard, where we are doers of the word, not hearers only. I'm your host, Jaden Heard, and today we're going to be learning why liberal cities are better than conservative cities. Let's check it out.
You think this is some kind of own on the left side, don't you? Look, Democrats aren't perfect, and anybody who tells you so is definitely smoking something. But if you look at what liberal-run cities and states produce versus Republican cities and states, they're definitely doing a better job. And I don't just mean economically, I mean educationally, I mean on human rights, I mean on happiness level of the people who live in those places.
Pause it. I guarantee you that people are not happy in San Francisco and LA walking past homeless camps, getting robbed at gunpoint in convenience stores. As a matter of fact, we're going to pull some clips, probably, maybe they can edit it in, but there's literally like they're locking up basic stuff. Like they're locking up coffee in these Walgreens stores and stuff in these liberal cities. This doesn't happen in Republican cities, by the way, where they're just locking up stuff. There's high crime rate. But anyway, happiness. You think people are happy? This, like, whatever. We'll get into how people are literally leaving these places because they're unhappy. But let's keep hearing what he has to say.
On the budgets of those individual cities and states, Democrat ones tend to have a net budget surplus, versus red states and red cities tend to have a net budget negative shortfall.
Cares?
So, facts over feelings, right? The facts are Democrats run things better and do better for the people in those places than Republicans do.
And another thing that he mentioned was human rights. Human rights. Democrat cities are taking away an unborn baby's right to life. That's like one of the most basic rights to life. It's the first right we have that is not given by the government, but is given by God. Right? The Democrats have they have no shame in taking away the right from the unborn to life, right? They have no complaints about free speech, anti-gun rights. I mean, those are the first two amendments right there. So they've already broken the first two amendments. Then you have liberal DAs taking away the right for victims to have justice for the crimes being committed against them, right? We're seeing criminals. I watch a lot of police videos. Sometimes police go a little too far. I understand that. But most of these videos are from the police perspective, and like they're posted by the police department, so they're usually pretty funny. You see like how people are acting up, and they just get a ton of charges just stacked, right? And these are usually in liberal cities, right? Because that's where the better videos are. And so you see the stack of charges at the end of the video of the person in the video that they got from the police officer. And they tell you, a lot of these channels tell you whether or not they were convicted or if the charges were dropped. 9 times out of 10, all those charges, with the exception of maybe like 1 or 2, are dropped. They just drop. They don't even get held accountable for them. So even the right to justice in these liberal cities are completely done away with by these liberal DAs. I'm sure Micah here in the studio could attest to that. So those are like basic safety, like most important rights right there. This guy's talking about budgeting. And I was like, who cares about budgeting? Micah, would you rather people have the right to kill their children in the womb, or would you rather your city have like a really good budget? Like who cares about, like, compare the rights here?
Even that's just blatantly false. I mean, Florida had a surplus. Alabama has a surplus. These are both big red states.
Right. But even, I mean, if our country's going to crap, you're worried about finances in the economy, which I am too. Which, by the way, let's look at the economy in under a certain administration versus another administration, I'm pretty sure you guys know where I would go with that. We don't even have to talk about that. But as far as cities go, you have to understand the context of this. LA, of course, is going to have a different kind of economy than LaGrange, Georgia, right? Like that's just not the same thing, okay? And it has nothing to do with being Republican or Democrat. It's just two completely different worlds. I mean, the United States is a completely different country on the west side versus the east side already. Now take a huge city on the west side and a huge city on the east side, still two different two completely DC is a completely different economy than San Diego, California. I mean, it's just that simple, right? And they're both liberal, right? They're both liberal, but that doesn't mean that one is better than the other just because of politics, right? So this guy is comparing apples and oranges. Another thing too, again, he talked about human rights, but what human rights are being taken? The right to sleep with whoever you want, you can do that now, right? Even in the pride parades, people can literally dress naked as long as they're not publicly masturbating, but they can literally like go around naked in a lot of places. I think it's Sacramento or Portland. I can't remember. It was one of those pride parades where the police is just totally fine with it. So you want to talk about rights and human rights? That's ridiculous. Right to obscenity is not a right. You know what I'm saying? So very weird. And these people, the list, the things that these people could list off as human rights being taken away. It's absurd. Like they would be making up stuff on the top of their head, And while we're on the topic of rights, let's talk about how big tech companies are taking your right to free speech. Right? We are all sick of that, right? Big tech companies are now compiling your data and Facebook and stuff, and what they're doing is basically they're building a huge profile on you. And what's playing out right now at big tech companies sets a dangerous precedent for our future. But look, it doesn't matter what your politics are or who you voted for or anything like that. We all agree that we should all be able to freely express ourselves, and we should have our data protected, right? Because that's our right to our data. To fight back against this control of basically the internet and our data, we here at RSBN highly recommend ExpressVPN. Have you ever wondered how free to access tech giants make all their money? Well, they do this by tracking your searches, your video history, and everything you click on. And they also build a profile on you with all that data that they collect, and then they sell off your sensitive data to basically big tech giants and other people who want that stuff. So when you use the ExpressVPN app on your computer or your phone or your tablet, you basically become anonymous and you hide your IP address. That makes your activity way more difficult to trace and sell to advertisers. And what's even more important than this is that ExpressVPN encrypts 100% of your network data, and they protect you from eavesdroppers and cyber criminals. Now, what I like most about ExpressVPN, because I'm lazy, y'all, but it's so easy to use, right? It just takes one click to protect all of your devices, and that's why ExpressVPN is rated #1 by Tech Radar. So let's stop allowing big tech to rob us of our human rights, of our data, and let's go ahead and rob them of their right to our data by going to expressvpn.com/RSBN. If you sign up for an annual subscription, then you will get 3 months free. Again, that is expressvpn.com/RSBN. But anyway, as we were talking about human rights, right? They don't actually care about this stuff, y'all. It's all a big talking point. The guy is sitting here talking about how Republican cities are worse than Democrat cities, and he's giving what he feels is best for a city. But we've already seen what the Democrats see is best for cities does not work, right? They care about pride. They care about I don't know, this BLM stuff. They care about social justice, DEI and stuff. And you've seen the natural conclusions of that. They care about welfare. They care about free stuff. They care about stuff like that. We care about tradition, family. We care about property. We care about values and conservatism and Christianity and the family unit. We care about all these things because we know, and it's been proven through societies since before time, that these things matter and that these things work. And so you see that conservatives are usually happier. We're usually more attractive. I mean, come on, let's just be honest, right? And you also see that our cities are not rampant with just crime and just homelessness and drugs and all types of stuff like that. And that's all you see in these liberal cities, right? And people like to say it's only because of the Democrats. It's not just because of Democratic policies. It's because of the culture of that side of the political aisle. These people worship a lot of what they espouse. Like a lot of people worship, like on the left, they worship their careers. A lot of the women, they put their careers over their family. They put their careers over their children, right? They're gonna abort their child because they want to have a better career, or they want to be free to do whatever they want. The marriage rates in these cities and these states are, oh my goodness, terrible. And then they're getting divorced at an all-time high. They're not having children. And so, and they also openly are okay with depopulation. I mean, these people are okay with that. A lot of the politicians, at least, I'm not sure about any poll numbers with the left or anything like that. So I don't want to spew out any misinformation, but we know for sure that a lot of the leaders and a lot of the prominent speakers on the left are okay with this stuff. And that's what leads to my next point, is that when you have someone who just rejects basically basic truth, stuff like this happens when they're just so delusioned and they reject the truth, as the Bible says in Romans 1, in their unrighteousness, right? They suppress it in their unrighteousness, in their sin, and they're okay with doing that, right? And God gives them over to a reprobate mind where they just continue to do whatever they want, and they just reject all truth and morality. I think we saw Neil deGrasse Tyson, or whatever his name is, a super intelligent guy, basically just said that the concept of gender is social. Like, there's as many genders as you want. A woman is not just biological. We have intelligent men like that. Well, he's an atheist, but he's one of the more fair atheists. He makes really good points about a lot of things. But someone as smart as that is so intelligent that he's stupid, right? And that's what's happened to a lot of these people in these liberal TikTok, and that's why I love libs of TikTok. They call out that stuff and stuff. So I mean, yeah, we see all that stuff, and it's madness, and we can laugh at it together, but it is honestly scary because our country is going to be falling because of that, right? The downfall of America is going to happen because of that. And if we love our country, we need to care about these people and continue to press the truth in their minds until they get it. So I'll stop rambling. Thank you guys for watching the video. Again, go to expressvpn.com/rsbn for 3 months free of an annual subscription. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. God bless. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and X. And be sure to hit that follow button and that join button. It'll take you over to our locals channel where you can further support the show and get access to additional content. God bless.